And now, our feature presentation.
You are watching a master at work.
Hello, everybody. My name is Rafael Chacín, as known as El Capitán Rafucho, and welcome to the Silver and Black Experience, the off-season. So, ladies and gentlemen, after that, I was doing a baseball stream between the first part of the season finale between Cardenales de Lara versus Tiburones de la Guaira. It just like getting like a right attention. It just got increased more viewers. I mean, it all happens. It all happens a lot. But as a matter of fact, during this live stream, I mean, I was thinking about, oh, this is not gonna make it. But after that, it was like, yeah, I think that I was like very confident about that. But yes, it's getting like a very involved in this. All right, so sorry about that. So how's everybody going this Tuesday night, afternoon, evening? I mean, I know it's 10:51 on the East Coast, and then we just got 7:51 on the West Coast. There you go, right now. All right, so let's see what the comments right here. With Pena say, Rafael, salute to you, with Pena. Also, Daniel Berry Sports, High Sports. Yep, there you go, right here. All right, so the first topic we're talking about during the off season, I mean, that kind of like a very, very strange because that was like really unexpected. I mean, we didn't have like on the bingo size, but then it was like, holy snap! I didn't know what's happening right here. So let's just take them out for like this image right here. Right, let's show it out right here. Right, there you go. So one of the first topics we're talking about is, do you remember about this guy? Yeah. Right now, it is official that Tom Telesco is named as the Las Vegas Raiders general manager. I mean, for those guys who didn't know about this, I mean, that was like a big, huge surprise because we didn't know about who the hell is this guy. I mean, the first that we got right here, I mean, that's the former general manager for Los Angeles Chargers. I mean, oh my God. I cannot believe that it just happened just like this one. But I gotta tell you for this something. I mean, Tom Telesco, I mean, for those guys who do know about Tom Telesco, when you look at the Los Angeles Chargers draft moves from 2013 to 2023 when he was general manager, it's not that bad. Players including like Justin Herbert, Slater, Bosa, Desmond Perriman, Mike Williams, Dory James. I mean, he has some major misses like Hillary Clinton, but he just made like enough decisions that maybe giving like a him or another chance isn't like the worst idea. But I gotta tell you, for that man right here, Tom Telesco, each year people get excited about for the Chargers and they underperform. That sounds like a coaching issue. Because for that point, why is everybody acting like he sucks more of the things that the Chargers are going to be like creative for the offseason? I mean, they always get choked. They always get choked. But it just sounds like they just have like a great, decent general manager who had a shitty head coach. I mean, that's not working at all, folks. That's not working at all. Oh, sorry about that. All right, so yeah, there you go. So I was checking them out for the audio. I mean, would he get everything could happen like this one? I mean, for that moment, I was like upset, confused, but I didn't know about this because that was like a really shocking at all. That was like a really because right now we had to supposed to bring to Jim Kelly as the new general manager after all these nightmares that we had between Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler. But I think it's kind of like this absolutely had to go for it. But I'm not really sure that we're gonna hit the right position or is it gonna be like the bad position. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna be like a huge upgrade or is it like a downgrade, but I think that Mark Davis didn't screw it up once with it comes to Antonio Pierce. But the other one between Tom Telesco, I mean, I don't know what to say about this. I mean, there are some things that which is right here on the jackpot, and there are some things that, huh? We didn't expect it about this one. This is about it. But but I will tell you for this something. Telesco is not very good at building depth, but he's really good at nailing first rounders, which is more than the Raiders can say for the most part of the decade. That means for the past decade. Everyone is shitting on this hire, but that guy has very solid draft record and he's replacing three straight residents that mostly failed at the part of the job. I mean, remember Kevin Murray and Jerry Tillery, they are bust, but they compare them to some of the Raiders bust and they're decent. Yep. Also, we got for the comment right here. I'm not sure about our GM. I think he has good talent, but his contracts are bad. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be like a problem solved, but I mean, he was very decent general manager with the Chargers, and he was like a collaborative manage damage of Brandon Stanley should have been coaching like a pee wee football, but wow, I didn't expect it about this. I didn't expect it about this, but this is usually like some of those moments when the NFL looks back in a hire and they realize they were wrong about it. That's not all of those moments. I mean, they're going to happen. But speaking about for the Tom Telesco, I mean, before the last slam dunk bad hire was Patricia as the Eagles defensive coordinator. As a head coach, I mean, what are we going to be like a Josh McDaniels? Why did they get to themselves? I mean, I don't know it's going to be like a rejoice and everything. I mean, I'm not really sure at all whether it comes to this. But if you look at the history of the Raiders, I mean, since Al Davis died, rest in peace, he had a track record of hiring who has been familiar with. First, it was Dennis Allen, Broncos DC, who's now as defensive coordinator. Next hire was Jack Del Rio, Broncos defensive coordinator. And then it was Gruden, who knew felt that Gruden's first team was the Raiders. And then there was McDaniels, former Broncos head coach. I mean, the general manager hires Richard McKenzie, recommended by the legendary John Madden. Also, McKenzie was a former Raider as a player. Then there was Maycock. I mean, between the connection of Gruden and Maycock, they made just like a really disaster. Remember the 2020 draft? We should have forget about that. We should forget about that. But I'm not really sure this is gonna be like a really good connection. But I think believe that Mark watched Maycock on the NFL and they just said to give it a job. And now they got the Chargers. They got the former Chargers general manager. But if you'd see like a trend, must have been within the division has some like familiarity with him, or they're connected with his father in some way. I mean, Makeup is the only clear, and I think the familiarity comes to seeing that guy like Makeup on TV. I mean, I would never thought that about this, but I don't think it's gonna be like anything well. I'm not really sure about that. But I just see it like anybody could see him because I know they're getting clown right here. I know that we are no longer like the laughing stock. But at this point right here, I mean that during the process of hiring Antonio Pierce, and I really thought that Sean Taylor will do like the same, but we just got Tom Telesco. I mean, it's like I don't know what's happening, but it seems like it came in like at a very confusing because I really thought that Sean Kelly was the right choice to make it right. But other people that say they just kind of like get involved with this one. I mean, between discomfort, he's still on the contract, whereas as the assistant general manager, it could very well as end up at Telesco and Kelly working together unless Champ gets a job elsewhere where they could do everything well. But that will be like he wants to keep him and Kelly wants to stay with the organization. I mean, they're hopefully going to keep it around, but understand if it doesn't. I mean, I think it's maybe discussing having like a distinction for 1 year. I mean, if everything goes this year to Telesco's get way higher and Jim Fields for the next season, I mean, that's not very typical, but he has to know that making a decision gets everybody absolutely hyped. And making it another equality opposite decision, it crashes all back down to earth. I mean, that's very typical. That's very typical. Every off season, it's kind of like the same. We're just getting like a really high, but then we just fucked up. I mean, remember the 2022 when we just hired with Josh McDaniels and Dave Stabler, and they tried to adopt the Raider to the Patriots way. I mean, that's not working. The only thing we have is sure about getting hired with Devontae Adams, which is like the biggest trade. And then we just got the extension of Hunter Renfro, Matt Crosby, and Derek Carr, which the last one, it didn't sound very great. But I think this can have like one of those things that if the quarterback is good, then keep it. But it's not very good at all, so they just cut him up. They just cut him up. But it seems that Jim Kelly, also that limit when the company keeps interview for like a promotion, not getting, but they kind of tell you to apply or to continue not to promote you. If he gets like a general manager's job somewhere, no doubt he's gonna become. But there's like an idea, but it's like a crazy one. I mean, I'm just gonna ask Jim Kelly to do the job because he was hired to. I mean, the one who willfully heavily accepted for an offer because no team wants to as a general manager. And the one who was done exactly for 8, 9 seasons was just hired James supposedly Tesco to be a general manager. I mean, we can't worry about promoting guys or creating president of football operations for guys years from now. There's no positive results. It could happen. That could happen. But during the time, I mean, those guys were just like a hiring of Tom Telesco. At least he had one of the first round picks, but he haven't it done consistently in a while. In a while, ladies and gentlemen. But it's just like a parrot, but again, like at a very cold feet. Mhm. But there's one thing that we didn't kind of like this one, but I think that was the experience. Yeah, the experience they just had with Tom Telesco and all those things. Is Jim still a part of the organization? I think he's hired for the assistant general manager. So, but I'm going to check the information. But also, he just spent a lot of time with the Colts. I mean, from 1980 to 2012. Then he just got hired as the general manager of the Chargers. I mean, I wouldn't have it to go for it, but probably the son had to go for it is the power and the money, just like a factor. I mean, Davis is the most catch for owner he's paying Gruden and those snakes and probably the former general manager as well. So they just need like a cheap options to pay. I mean, Telesco was not paid much, but he was fellow cheap owner Spanos. You remember the guy? But yeah, but I think they have it like a something cheap it is. So we just like a few pitchers. Mark Davis going to McDonald's or maybe P.P. Chang to order something, and well, he was still like paying money for snakes all around this and the whole damage. I mean, that that could happen a lot. That could happen a lot. I mean, it's not about like risk everything, but why the risk? When you get that, you're all familiar with marketing. I mean, this is still like being being himself, being himself, being himself. But but anyways, let's just get it and move on. And right now, it's not going to come up next because I mean, Tom Taliska is very good at beginning off for the first choice, but I think he needs to like still get involved a lot of bit more about this. I mean, it's not that really hard to go to do about it, but yeah, it's kind of like a very difficult, but who knows about it? Yeah, who knows? All right, so we got to check out for any more like news and everything. Then you forget it because after we just saw like Tom Telesco as a new general manager, I mean, also I just went on to show him like interested in Rams passing coordinator Zach Robinson, the offensive coordinator. I mean, for those guys who didn't know about this, the passing game coordinator has become like a rising offensive coordinator candidate, and he was put with the Chicago Bears. He's slated to beat the New England Patriots, also the Pittsburgh Steelers and Las Vegas Raiders. I mean, Robinson was a quarterback between 2010 and 2013 with the Patriots, Seahawks, Lions, and Bengals, and he broke into coaching in 2019 with the Rams, and he was assistant quarterbacks coach. He just spent like 2020 season, but that team assistants receiving coach and everything, and they just promote to Zach Robinson to quarterbacks coach while also giving the title of passing game coordinator back in 2022. Remember that? Sean McVay, I mean, he won a Super Bowl against the Cincinnati Bengals. Yeah, but that influence, he flourished all the seasons despite Cooper Cup missing 5 games with the Bears. They just received big contributions with Matthew Stanford, Puka Nakua, and Kyrie Williams. But isn't the assistant that the Steelers and Raiders are both pretty tightly? I mean, there's several reports between Cliff Kingsbury, who recently said to speak to the Steelers, also for the Raiders. But I think it's happening like a lot of things could have happened when it gets hired, whether it gets to involve like some candidates to pull off the job. I mean, get up and of course don't fuck this up. Hey, how's it going, Afakasi? Salute to you. Salute to you to everybody. I mean, yeah, what can I say about it? But it's kind of like a very emotional to everybody. But it seems that some persons they can do the job very seriously because it's not time to joke. It's time to get back to work. I mean, time that we just saw Antonio Pierce getting back as a head coach because he's not the interim head coach. He's right now the head coach of the Raiders for the next season. And man, I cannot believe that. I was crying in tears. I was crying in joy because that's the one of the biggest reasons to celebrate it. I mean, I really like Antonio Pierce swag, leadership, also aggression, and his mentality for the football. I mean, he got it all. I mean, we cannot anything ways to like giving the money to the big name coach, like for example, Jim Harbaugh. I mean, we cannot deal with Jim Harbaugh or Bill Belichick because these guys are very old and they just had a great experience, but they don't have the passion, the energy. I mean, we cannot let those guys right there because they wanted to try to copy, to adopt the style. I mean, no. We just saw Antonio Pierce at the Raiders. I mean, we just saw like a click, like a cultural reset. I mean, they just bring back the whole Raiders culture and they just became like really phenomenal. I mean, it happened a lot. And it's kind of like a very important, but I think the most great thing that was just happened is the video came with the same United Nations stand up. I was like, yes, man. Yes, sir. I mean, that was the perfect hype to get involved. I mean, I was ready to do. And the other thing is, everybody see like the jacket because the jacket that I was wearing, Antonio Pierce, because the last thing that I just saw, that was on sale last year on the Reddit image, and that was really sold out because man, I really need that jacket from Antonio Pierce, but then it was like they just get sold out. I don't really imagine they're gonna put on sale back around for the season, like the up season. I mean, you know, that could happen, but I mean, it's. I mean, that could happen. That could happen. But the other thing that I was like in a game involved with this because I was very because we cannot let Florida in. I mean, we are the Raider Nation. I mean, we cannot let us down with a cold head. We gotta do like a play like a warrior and stand up because we won't back down. We don't. We don't. Also, I just wanted to tell you that before the Super Bowl weekend, there is the championship. There's two championships that we need to talk about it. The, yes. Yeah, right now, let's see where's the feathers here. All right. So I just put the link right here that anybody can pull up. So you're welcome. Also, you just gotta like at a times for anything. I mean, if you guys want to join us and talking about it, welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. So let's make sure to subscribe to Rafael Chacín as well as the Capitán Rafucho. And then we just want to get involved with this. And yeah, there you go. All right. So let's just wanted to share the screen right here. Right. So we can share this here. Let's go back. All right. Sorry about the background. All right. So there you go, folks. There you go. All right. So we got from the national championship between Detroit Lions versus San Francisco 49ers, known as the Bang Bang Booty Gang. And the American Football Championship is between Baltimore Ravens versus Kansas City Chiefs. Now, both championships, they have great, amazing seasons. I mean, for example, Baltimore Ravens had become like one of the greatest teams that we just saw from the beginning. I mean, not only that, because they just had Lamar Jackson as part of the quarterback who made like a great lap, a jump to a lap. I mean, that was like very incredible. And with all that, sorry, Even though they were just like, is it possible to be like a elite quarterback or not? But I just let you know that he was like phenomenal on this happened. I mean, they're gonna happen a lot. And for those reasons I just wanted to tell it about it. I mean, Baltimore Ravens could be like everything could happen. Everything could happen. I mean, they guys had the whole defense, the whole offense. Remember the 2000, 2001 Baltimore Ravens season? They just got Tommy Saragusa, they got Shannon Sharp, and Ray Lewis. Those guys are really monsters. I really hope that the Baltimore Ravens, they just have like, yeah. I mean, they've been like the most consistent best team, and they just beat several remaining playoff teams. And I just hope that Lamar Jackson, for the first time in a while, going on that season. That's one of the traditions. We're like early in the decade. I mean, they just really did it in the 2000 and early 2010. So that's one of the point. That's one of those points. Yeah, it could have happened. It could have happened. But I just wanted to let you know about it. But I think there's something that I was getting involved with a lot of these things that we just had to be fair about it. I mean, yeah, I mean, Baltimore Ravens could be like a great surprise right here, and they just had like a great to get to know for the defense and all of these things. I mean, there's like a great chance to make it like very different, very different. And they just had a look at another one, which is the San Francisco 49ers. First and foremost, I mean, they just kind of like really be overrated because not only just got Brock Purdy, also they just got George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey. I mean, all the defense right here. And I mean, they're just pretending to be like the best team in the whole world. But you forget about it, the three strikes between for the regular season. I mean, yeah, they just kind of like a lot of different because, but it's yeah. I mean, for those who get ahead as indication right here, but I think they just had like between operated. I mean, if you're talking about for the Baltimore Ravens, they're extremely they're underrated because they just are like a great defense, offense. They just had Lamar Jackson. But the other part, they just got the 49ers, which is like very overrated because they think they're gonna win against all the best teams. They had Coach Shannon, they got Purdy, Chris McCaffrey. I mean, yeah, and those are to be careful about it. I mean, most likely they just feel like at a very important. I mean, they just wanted to pull it up from over, and I mean, that could happen. That could have happened. That could have happened. I mean, that's yeah. I mean, it just happened like this one, but I think that I have my prediction about this thing. Yeah. I mean, for that moment, I mean, Baltimore Ravens they just had like a great, great surprise. I mean, it's gonna be like the most physical football ice we ever seen all around the state. Really, like the most physical teams left. It's gonna be like everything. I mean, the Ravens just beating 10 teams over 5,000, 500, an NFL record. They just matched San Francisco, Houston, Jacksonville, Miami, and Detroit. And they are at home, and they are the better team. That seems really high for us. And I think it's going to be like the biggest game for the career for John Harbaugh. I mean, not Jim, John Harbaugh. But yes. Mhm. I mean, that could be like a great surprise to make it to the championship. I mean, you don't doubt about this one. I mean, there's some point that just finally it just worked out. I mean, it's gonna happen like this one, but I just feel like anything could happen in that championship. Anything could happen in that championship. So let's just get in the mouth for this one. I mean, they're gonna happen. But if you ever see like some greatest teams has been the greatest of the greatest that just had Baltimore Ravens and Detroit Lions, who has great defense, great offense, great wide receivers, great quarterback. I mean, they just get it all. They just get it all. And they shock the entire world if we would just know about it. So there's like a difference between underrated and overrated. Yep. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, I have something backstage right here. So we're going to talk about from like between Antonio Pierce and, of course, a little bit for the Raiders. So one of my homies, one of my brothers, we came like for the first time, and he's been supporting me since day one. I love him, and he's been like a diehard fan of the Raiders. And well, I cannot wait to go for the next season to the Raiders 24-25 season. I mean, it'll be like a blow away. So let's give it up for the one and only to the West Coast Pirates. How's it go? Welcome.
Rafa, what's up, my boy? Good to see you, man.
I'm very good. I'm very good. So, all right. So right now, I'm just talking about for the Antonio Pierce as a new head coach. I know he just brought a lot of the culture right here. I mean, tell us that everything could happen on that point when Antonio Pierce became like the new head coach for the Raiders for the next season. I mean, how do you feel about it? Because right now we just really got hyped and of course really excited because right now we just brought back to Antonio Pierce and he just got the mentality, the swag, everything. So how do you feel about Antonio Pierce who became the new head coach? Is it time to get an opportunity to make it right?
Yeah, no, it's honestly it's a great feeling. I think the entire nation was relieved to hear the news that AP was finally announced as head coach. I mean, for me at least, I know he screams what it means to be a Raider. I mean, he definitely embodies the energy and the mystique of the Shield. But for me, I think this is just part one. You know, he's got a lot on his plate coming into this next season. There's going to be a lot of expectations behind the hiring. Not so much feeling the hire with the Chargers GM. I think that's another question for later. But for AP,
Mhm.
I'm all in moving forward, and I hope that he takes full advantage of the opportunity. I think we saw bits and pieces of what he did against Kansas City, on the road there, but I think it's all hands on deck moving forward.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, we have something another guest in backstage, so you might know him. So, ladies and gentlemen, one of my brothers down under, right now part of the Raiders world with Raider Joe and Auntie States, my brother Alpha Casa Raiders. So, how's it going?
Salute, Rafa. How you doing? Forgive me, the guy top right.
Mhm.
Have I met you before? Who's that?
I have it, brother.
Yes,
I have it. My name's
West Coast Pirate. West Coast Pirate. He's one
Oh,
of
West Coast
those.
Pirate. Yeah, I know who you are. Yeah. Hello. How are you, brother?
nice to meet you, man. Are you
Nice to
from
meet you.
All right.
Australia?
No, I'm from Texas.
That's forgive me for being a direct. New
No, I'm
Zealand?
Australian, dog. How are you, brother?
Fucking with.
Yeah,
Okay, so all right, so all right, so Abakasi, I had the same question with you. So, how do you feel about Antonio Pierce as a new head coach? Because right now, after the season, which you see like a forgetting about the nightmares of Josh McDonough and Dave Seager. I mean, this is like a big, huge new opportunity to get involved with Antonio Pierce because right now we just see like the right decision would it go for the swag, also for the mentality, also the leadership, and of course the discipline to make it team right. So, how you feel about it?
Fantastic. I couldn't be happier. I mean, we got our guy, Mark Davis. Salute to him. Listen to the fans, and not just the fans, the players, the senior players, the old school Raider greats. I mean, all signs are pointing to Antonio Pierce. So I'm all hands on deck, and I couldn't be more happier. And I don't think there's yes, there is expectation, but I don't think the weight of the world is on his shoulders. I mean, worst case scenario, if it doesn't work out, at least we did it our way. You know what I mean? We didn't do this whole Patriot way bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we did what the fans wanted, the players wanted, the Raider greats wanted. You know what I mean? Like, we all wanted this. We got it. If it doesn't pan out, we tried. But if it does work out, and I believe in time it will, we just got to give him time. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not asking for him to take us to the Super Bowl right away. You know what I'm saying? Or do this, that, and the third. But I want to see a trajectory going upwards. And then come maybe 2025, I think that's reasonable to see us like being hopefully being a consistent playoff team and maybe pushing further than that. But I couldn't be happier. We have our chosen one. And I believe he's going to take us to the promised land. We just got to give him time.
Yeah, exactly. Because after we just saw for the last season, 23-24, I mean, we just see like a ladder to improvement. I mean, we just saw for the defense, top of the rising. I mean, we just made like a great moments. For example, Chargers versus Raiders on Tuesday. On Thursday, that was like a very historical, the perfect Christmas gift between Raiders versus Chiefs. That was like a big, huge victory. I mean, it all became because right now the next season it became like a so big important for the Raiders because right now we just had Aiden O'Connor as a quarterback, but also we just got Devontae Adams as a wide receiver, the tight end, Michael Mayer, Josh Jacobs. I mean, we just had a whole defense, and I mean that kind of like a really improve what about for the season. But the next one is gonna be like a really different. So I gotta ask you for everything. So do you think that the last season, 2023-2004, was a great improvement for the defense and the offense for the Raiders? So let's just start with the West Coast Pirates, and then we just got for Rafael Chacín about because right now we just see like who's gonna improve it, who's gonna not. So let's just start with if the Raiders can improve a lot more on their last season, which is 2023-2024.
Rafa, I know you've seen the improvement since AP took over. I think it's night and day difference. Jones, hands down, has been my highlight player or favorite player to end the season. I think that just shows what AP does to teams. He's a player's coach. The players relate to him and they want to play for the guy. As far as the offensive side of the ball, I have to take a big sigh there because we have so much potential with all the weapons on our roster, and obviously with the departure of Bo Hardegree now and AP firing him, that's a big gap to fill. And to my boy's point earlier, that there might not be a ton of weight on AP's shoulders, but in my opinion, I know us Raider fans, we're sick and tired of losing, and we're so close to finally, righting the ship. And thank God we got rid of the damn Patriot debacle. I mean, to Boy's point, we finally have a Raider in the house. I love the fact that he's embracing what he doesn't know, and he's openly admitted that he's going to fill the gaps with seasoned vets, in his perspective, right? For he's just being transparent, and I like that. So I'm curious to see how we go about the OC interviews this week. I think that's going to say a lot about the direction we go to. But on the offensive side of the ball, I just kind of got to take a deep breath because, again, we have the roster there. We got to put the pieces together. And I know AP can motivate the guys, but we need somebody that, can draw the schemes up a little better to get Trey Tucker more involved. I want to see number 11 screaming down, the field again. It was nice to see that in tidbits to end the season, but a lot of potential. Just hope we find the glue to put it together.
Right. Mm-hmm. And we also got. Sorry, go ahead.
Yep. No, I was just thinking about you're gonna. Okay, so right now for Cassie, there you go.
Yeah, just touching up on what West Coast said. We also got to remember, this is still all. The offense had Josh McDaniels' fingerprints all over it. I mean, it was his offense. It was still his playbook. And we moved on from Bo Hardegree, but look, I'm not going to crucify the guy being that like this. He was supposed to be a quarterback coordinator. He wasn't supposed to be the offensive coordinator calling plays for the first time in his career. So, like he tried to do his best. It's glaring it wasn't good enough, but like, look, he was just the same as him, same as Antonio Pierce, and even our quarterback, and Aiden O'Connell. They were all thrust into positions they weren't expected to be in, and they made the best.
Great point.
I mean, but we've moved on from Bo Hardegree. Like, I appreciate, thank you very much for your services. Good luck with your future endeavors. But we do need someone with more experience who can who can bring out more production and bring us an offense that can produce a lot better than what it did last season. Because it was inexcusable these last 2 years that our offense wasn't as good as, if not better than what it should have been. I mean, we had all the tools, we just couldn't put it together. Play execution had some part of it. And shout out to you, Raider Joe. I see you in the chat. But like for me, it starts with, and just McDaniel's like, do we need to say any more? Just brought out the worst in the team. And thank God he's gone. And I truly believe Antonio Pierce is the right guy. If we can get an offensive coordinator that can bring out said production and bring us an offense that can match that defense that well exceeded my expectations. I mean, that's the second point of emphasis for me. So with the front office hirings is we got to keep Patrick Graham at all costs, whatever means necessary. I was one of his loudest critiques going into last season. He proved me wrong with the capital he had to deal with. You know what I mean? Like we didn't spend a whole boatload of money. I mean, we brought in a few free agents, but like we've spent a lot on Chandler Jones. You know what I mean? But like outside of that, there's a lot of young cats, a lot of third-year players who produce better than I expected. So that's something that we can definitely build towards with the future. But it starts with Patrick Graham. We need to find a way to keep him in the door. But yeah, look. Hopefully, like I said, we can find an offensive coordinator who can get it done. But Antonio Pierce is the guy. He is the chosen one. We just got to give him time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. Also, salute to Robert Pena. It is what it is. Raider Joe. All right, so I got a last question before we're wrapping it up with this show right here. So I got to tell you for this one. So who should it be like this quarterback from 2024-2020 season? I know it's going to be like a really earlier, but do you think that Aiden O'Connell is going to be like the sweater coordinator, or we had to do like a rookie or veteran? So we just start with West Coast Pirates and then with Afakasi Raiders. So we're going to have to choose between a rookie or veteran for the next quarterback for the Raiders for the next season.
It's a great question, and I'm going to have to eat my words here a little bit on Protect the Shield podcast. I was a huge advocate of AOC, and I realized that he's not going to be that guy moving forward. He's just going to be a journeyman. He's a system quarterback. I thought I saw bits of mobility here and there, but he's got a lot to learn. And I mean, yeah, he started off with the McDaniels offense, went the transition to the Bo Hardegree, segment halfway through the season. But I think in today's NFL, I mean, from what we're seeing, going into this Super Bowl, we need a quarterback that extends plays, consistently, that not only can throw the ball. And so we have to get somebody that can compete with AOC in the offseason. Don't know who that's going to be. I think it's still premature to say, but that is a big part of the key here moving forward. And I think AP understands that by eliminating the Bo Hardegree position. So again, all eyes on the OC hire and what next steps are for this, offensive game plan moving forward. But it's not going to be AOC.
Mm-hmm. All right. So same question. Do you want to see like a rookie or a veteran for the next season for the Raiders?
Well, look, with O'Connell, again, I'm not going to fully throw him to the wolves as well. Like, look, he was thrust into a position he wasn't supposed to be in. I mean, he was supposed to be sitting. He's a 4th round draft pick who was supposed to be the developmental guy. I mean, even Brian Hoyer was the next man up, so to say, with Jimmy Garoppolo hopefully being the guy. It just didn't turn out that way. And after the firings and after we benched Jimmy G, like, he was thrust into that position of starting. And I thought he did a decent enough job. Like, am I sold on him being the guy long term? Leaning more towards no, but at least his very flaw is that he is a capable quarterback of being able to, I don't know, he can possibly get the job done. You know what I mean? Like I see that as being his very flaw, as a good backup quarterback, to say the least. Someone we can keep around. I mean, he's the only quarterback that was on our roster last year I see being he's going to be around next year. I don't see us outright cutting him, and I see him at least competing for that quarterback job, whatever we do, whether we get a free agent or we go through the draft. I see us going through the draft process. I think it's about time we swing for the fences, so to say. We haven't really swung for a first round quarterback since Jamarcus Russell, and we've only swung like in the first round specifically. When I think about it, like what, 4 times in our team's history. You know what I mean? So, you know, I wouldn't be mad if we went that route. If there's a guy there that our front office is dead set on being the guy, then so be it. But yeah, look, he's at least going to get a shot to compete and show some progression. I mean, you know, we got to remember it was his rookie year, and like I said, he wasn't expected to start. So I'm still giving him a fair shake, but I'm with you guys. Like he's not my guy yet. And I do see us bringing in someone who can possibly be the face of the franchise moving forward, whether it's a free agent or whether it's a early round draft pick. But I am leaning towards hoping that we do swing for the fences.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there you go. But I really think that it should be like between a rookie or a veteran. But I think he's a little improvement right here, but he needs to adapt a little bit more. I mean, because after we just benched Jimmy Garoppolo and right now Ryan Hoyer, this is not like the answer. But I really think that as a starter quarterback within some few games, I mean, he should show up with improvement. But he needs to think a lot more about his mobility, his speed, and of course his arm talent. I mean, he showed up a little bit, but he needs to improve, because I know his first year as a rookie, because we just drafted him at the second round. But I really think that's gonna happen a lot of things more to do about it. So I just wanted to tell you thank you guys for joining us at this Civil and Black experience. So I know this is gonna be a really good point. So I just wanted to say shout out to West Coast Pirates and Afakasi Raider to showing us to provide some great points about for Antonio Pierce, and of course an improvement about for the Raiders defense and the future of the quarterbacks. So I just wanted to say thank you guys, and of course I will see you there in its time. So it's been a great episode. So I just wanted to tell you the last thoughts on West Coast Pirates and Afakasi Raiders. So let's just start with West Coast Pirates and then Afakasi Raider for the last thoughts.
Yeah, brother Rafa, I appreciate you being patient with me and inviting me to your podcast. I love what you're doing, man. Keep it up. And for those that don't know, my man, I forgot your name. And my apologies. I'm in my mind, you're just the Aussie guy now. You're the Raider fan from Australia. Are you based out of Australia?
Am I what? Sorry.
Are you based out of Australia or are you here in the States?
Yes, I am. I'm
nice,
I'm a
man.
born Aussie. Can't you tell by the accent? Or do I sound American?
No, you pretty legit, man. You're OG. That's why I had to ask. I was like, oh man, he's a thorough.
My name is Afakasi, West Coast. Afakasi means half Samoan.
Yes.
So I'm a born Australian, but my mother's Samoan. So you got Samoan Raider. Shout out to my 10,000th cousin. True story.
Hell yeah.
But yeah,
that's
what Afakasi means. So Afakasi Raider, and you'll find me if you type that in, or if you have trouble typing that in, just Raiders World Order. You'll see us on YouTube. But anyways, you want to finish what you were saying?
No, yeah, I'll definitely shoot you a follow, man. And big shout out to the Ooses, Mr. Fitz and TJ. Big, love what they're doing as well. But
my other cousins.
No way, man. That's
follow them out. He's my cousin too.
Small world. But anyways, yeah, Rafa, keep it up. Appreciate the support and you inviting me on, man.
All right, so Afakasi, last thoughts, and we just get able to give you a really good. So last thoughts, Afakasi, my brother.
Yeah, once again, appreciate you, Rafa. Hey, did you do your research on that free agent I was talking about in your IG live feed?
Oh yes, I remember that.
So I was before while I was talking about baseball. So I went in the comment section and I said, Have you heard about that Japanese free agent?
Japanese.
What's his name? Suk Maidik.
Oh, shit.
Maidik.
Oh, my God.
You got confused and you went into a Google search and I said, say it slowly.
Announcers are gonna have a field day with that one.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I love it. It was good. I got you, my friend. But anyways,
right.
much love, man. West Coast, is it West Coast Pirate or West Coast Raider?
West Coast
West,
Pirate.
West Coast Pirates is
Pirate.
my fan club clothing brand. My name is Matt, but I'm definitely gonna shoot you a follow. After this, I love seeing how far the Shield travels, and to know we got fans down under. That's badass to hear, man. I would love to meet you in Vegas one day.
One day, my friend. I have been to the States before. I got to see the Raiders win their last home game in Oakland when they played the Bengals in 2019. Sat in the black hole. It was a dream come true. But yeah, like one day, hopefully soon, I would like to go see the Raiders again in Las Vegas or even in Los Angeles. That's home field for the Raiders. But anyways, look, Afakazi Raider, that's my channel, AFAKASI Raider. I do my live shows with my Raiders World Order crew. Shout out to them, Raider Joe and Aunt Six. But if you have trouble typing that in, just type in Raiders World Order and you'll find me.
For sure, man.
There you go. There you go.
I appreciate you guys. I have seen you on the live stream before. Now I think about it, you've done something to protect the Shield. I think I saw you on his live panel.
Yeah, man.
Yes, it is.
Shout out to Chris.
Him and the Raider Syndicate. Salute to those guys. But
all right.
yeah, look, I'm feeling really good. It starts at the top. We got our guy. See what he can do. The GM, I'm going to give him a fair shake as well. Like I said, defensive coordinator Patrick Graham, by any means necessary at all costs, we have to keep him in the door, whatever it takes.
There you go.
So, yeah, that's
there
my final.
There you
Thanks
go.
again, guys. Appreciate it. Go Reds.
There you go. Have a good one, Afakasi. And of course, I have a good one, West Coast Pirates. I salute to you. And of course, I have a good one, my brother, that I will see you there next time. So salute to you. All right, so that was the special guest right here, West Coast Pirates and Afakasi Raider. Thanks for a lot. We had my great brothers right here. I mean, before that, I was going to close it up. I mean, during that time, I was post a video for my predictions to go to win the championship. I mean, first they just got the Baltimore Ravens versus Kansas City Chiefs. And then you just got Detroit Lions versus San Francisco 49ers. I mean, they just got two teams that's been underrated, which is the Baltimore Ravens and the Detroit Lions, because they just never went to the Super Bowl. I mean, this is like the first time to not screw it up. I mean, they just had like a linebacker, a former player who became like head coach, who became like very popular. I mean, this time is completely blew after in my mind. So I would love to see that. All right. So I just wanted to tell you about this because right now I would love to see between Baltimore Ravens versus Detroit Lions for the Super Bowl. Because we don't want to see Kansas City Chiefs or San Francisco 49ers to go to the Super Bowl. Because I got to tell you this something. The Allegiant Stadium is very legit and it's sacred. And we're not cannot let Taylor Swift, Kevin the Frog, or those Bang Bang Booty Gang. I mean, none of this one. No. Because we want to see like a great game between Baltimore Ravens versus Detroit Lions. I mean, they just had a first shot to everybody. So my final prediction is between Baltimore Ravens versus Detroit Lions for the Super Bowl in Las Vegas. That's my whole prediction because we don't want to see Chiefs versus the 49ers to give us some revenge and all these things. But no, that's not going to happen. All right, folks. Thanks for everybody else to pulling up for the show. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Chad Strader. What to say for the comment. I ain't too happy with my Steelers. They're keeping Terry Austin as a defensive coordinator. I wanted him gone. Well, the thing that happens for the bad luck from the Steelers. I mean, they always get choked, but they always get a lot of bad decisions right here. But yeah, it should be. All right. So right now, tomorrow night, we just have like a great live stream right here because check this out, folks. Tomorrow night, we just had a special guest, Severe Raider. You guys know for his live shots with Pharaoh. Yeah, but this time it's gonna be like really different. We're gonna talking about for Antonio Pierce, how do the Raiders improve it, about for Tom Telicer, and of course we just had like a great fun together. So thank you very much, and of course I will see you there next time. I will see you there tomorrow with a special edition of Civil Black Experience with Severe Raiders. So I will see you there next time. So I gotta catch up later. Have a good night and have a great week. So peace out, motherfuckers. And Raider Nation for life, bitches.